Welcome to Retech Solution. In today's class, we're going to see about NumPy. Okay, NumPy is nothing but of a numerical Python. It is called as numerical Python. Okay, what is NumPy? NumPy is it stands for numerical Python. It's a library consists of multi-dimensional arrays, objects, and a collection of routines for processing those arrays. Okay, it is nothing but of making some calculation in our array objects. Okay, to make some multi-dimensional array calculation in a multi-dimensional array. Okay, using NumPy we can do some mathematical and some logical calculations also. Okay, using NumPy we can calculate and some mathematical and logical operation. Okay, NumPy is a this is provides a simple NumPy just provides us a simple yet powerful data structures in a n dimensional. Okay, the data structures that a NumPy provide, it's called as a n dimensional array. Okay, it can be utilized to perform a number of mathematical operations on arrays such as trigonometric, statistical and algebra, routines, etc. Okay, we can do as many as mathematical calculation, for example a trigonometric calculation or a statistical or algebraic calculation in an array using this NumPy method. Okay, the core concept in a data science are made possible by NumPy. Okay, the main concept, the base of the data science calculations are mostly done using the NumPys only. Okay, after we creating some set of database into an array only, we can just make that array to model to make our algorithm model to predict based only on the array only. Okay, that's why the NumPy is a very important library and it is a main part in a data science. Okay, it is useful to create how to manipulate NumPy arrays to perform useful calculation. Okay, it is used to make a manipulating the NumPy arrays to perform some useful calculation. And at the point in a simple term, NumPy is used for making some mathematical calculations in an array format, also in a multi-dimensional array. Okay, in a multi-dimensional array it is used for making some mathematical calculations. Okay, the environmental setup of NumPy. Okay, we can simply use pip install NumPy in our command prompt, or else though we are using Anaconda Navigator, I will show you how to install the NumPy in Anaconda Navigator. Okay, I'm opening my Anaconda Navigator. Okay, just go to the environment here. As we see in the pandas, go to the environment and select all here, and then I'm opening my Anaconda Navigator here. Okay, go to the environments here. Okay, and then select all here and choose the library or a package that you want to install. In my case I'm gonna add my NumPy here. Okay, NumPy has been previously installed in my system. Just click on this button and there will be an there will be an apply button here. Just click on it, then the process will be done. Okay, that's it. This is a simple method of creating installing the NumPy array. Okay, now I'm gonna open my Jupyter notebook to make some calculations. Okay, before that, before that we should know the NumPy has an object called ND array. Okay, now in NumPy there's a concept called ND array. Okay, ND array is nothing but of n dimensional array. Okay, n dimensional array is called as an ND array. Okay, the ND array it is described of collecting of items of the same time. Items in the collection can be accessed using a zero based index also. Okay, the ND array, each item in an ND array, okay, takes the same size of a block in a memory. Okay, it takes the same size of a block. Each element is an object data type called D type. Okay, each element is in the data type called D type. We have seen the D type format, null D type is equal to float 64 and float 32, like that in our previous panda section. Like that, it also each element in ND array also has a data type called D type. Okay, of creating an ND array in NumPy is numpy.array. This is a syntax, and implements, input parameters, that is object, d type, copy, order, support, and nd min. Okay, this is all the parameters that we're gonna pass to create an nd array. Okay, we will see that in a practical example. Okay, I'm gonna open my Jupyter notebook. I've already launched it in my Google Chrome. Okay, I'm gonna open it. One sec. Okay, I'm gonna create a new file here. New Python 3 file. Okay, I'm gonna name it as a numpy here. Okay, that's it. Now I'm gonna run my code here. Okay, the first foremost thing I must do before creating our numpy, just we want to import it numpy. Okay, as we seen in the pandas, in numpy also we should import the numpy. Okay, first I'm gonna import my numpy. Import numpy as np. That's it. I'm gonna jump to my next block. This is called an header file. Okay, header file is nothing but of the header section is nothing where we used to import all the libraries and necessary packages in our machine learning project. Okay, I'm gonna run this process as we do in the machine learning. This is called a header file. Okay, I'm gonna run this block. Okay, after I run this block has been run, and this np, now numpy is imported as np here, and that I can use in our upcoming block also without importing the numpy. Okay, and then I'm going to create my array. Okay, I'm going to create a value in here, np dot array. Okay, I'm going to open my parenthesis like this, and I'm going to create a list here, and now I'm going to print in here. That's it. Okay, and we got a list, normal array. You can say this is a simple list of it may look like a printing a list. Okay, but it is an numpy array. We call this as a numpy array. It may look like a simple list, but it is a numpy array. Okay, for example, I have a single list here. What if I have another list here? Okay, 4, 5, 6. Okay, now I'm gonna run this. One second, I made an error here, I think so. Okay, I just forgot to wrap this. Okay, that's it. I'm gonna run this now. Yeah. Now if you can see that it is in the format of a matrix like that. Okay, it is in the format of a matrix like that. This is how the numpy array should look like. Okay, this is how a numpy array will be. Okay, it is in this. Okay, I think it would be clear with this. And okay, next I'm going to add some parameters here. For example, I'm going to specify maybe I'm just deleting this second arrays, and I'm going to specify that nd min value comma nd min is equal to 2. What I'm trying to say here is I'm going to add some more values here, 4, 5. Okay, sorry, made a mistake, I think so. Okay, I'm just specifying that number of dimensions here. Okay, what if it was 3 like that? Okay, you can see the bracket has been extended. This is I'm saying to the numpy number of dimension here. Okay, this is a one nd min 1, and if I specify the 2 here, we have a two dimension. Okay, what if I have some extra values here? For example, I'm going to add another string. Okay, I'm not specifying another bracket here. Okay, I'm just running it. Okay, it throws me an error. Fine. I'm going to add another bracket here. Okay, I'm going to save this. Yeah, we got a two-dimensional array. And what if I specify 3? Okay, I'm making 3 dimensions. Yeah, we have a 3 brackets here. This brackets extra, it's called nd min. That nd min, it's called, okay, the specific minimum dimension of a resultant array. Okay, it is nothing but of a minimum dimension of a resultant array. Dimension of array. Now it is a 3-dimensional array. Okay, and nd min is used for creating the dimension. Okay, next d-type parameter. Okay, d-type parameter we have seen in the last pandas also. It just shows the type of the structure. Okay, it may be integer or float. In this, I'm gonna type d-type is equal to float 32. Yeah, we got the value in the format of float with a dot. Okay, I can also add another thing here. We have not seen that in a pandas. It's called a complex. Okay, we have seen complex in Python class. Okay, this is how the complex will look like. Complex number. Our data type, I mean our ND array has been changed to a complex number. Okay, this way we can use the D type format in our NumPy. Okay, we have seen ND min and D type, and the object is nothing but of this. This is called an object here. We have seen a set of parameter in our PPT. I'm going to show you that once again. Okay, the object is nothing but of the input we have given, the list. The two lists we have given is called an object, and the D type is the type of the decimal type of the object. Okay, it may be an integer, float, or a complex like that. And nd min is mean dimension. Okay, it's a number of dimensions that we want to print the array. Okay, and remaining is copy, order, and subawk. Okay, we will see that also. Okay, next thing is this subawk. Okay, subawk is nothing but of subclass. Okay, it is called a subclass like that. It is defaultly, it is in the format of boolean. Okay, true or false only. It takes only true or false only. Anything will not affect that much of. Okay, for example, subawk. Okay, true here. I'm gonna run this, and the output is similar. It is simple. Okay, it doesn't do nothing. Okay, it just showing that NumPy whether it supports a subclass or not. Okay, it may not be used that much, but it has been well to know. Okay, it is used for creating a subclass. Okay, it is in the format of boolean. Okay, next thing is a copy. A copy is defaultly in a true format. Okay, that's an optional thing. Copy is an optional thing, and it is defaultly in the format of true. Okay, and the next thing is, we have seen everything here. Okay, I think order is nothing but of none. Okay, order is defaultly, it will be a none format. It's just gonna say which order we want to be. Okay, okay. Next thing is the syntax. We have seen the syntax in the practical example of creating an array in using a NumPy. We're going to first import NumPy, and then we're going to create the array using that array format. Okay, array keyword, and we're going to pass a list here. This is an object. Okay. Next thing, the data types we have in a NumPy. Okay, we have every data types. Okay, for starting from bool, integer C, integer P, and integer 8, integer 16, 32, and 64 bit, and unit 8 and unit 16, unit 32, unit 64, float. Float 16, 32, and 64. Okay, we got every data types here, and we're gonna specify the data type in this format. Okay, for example, I'm gonna create a NumPy dt, and I'm gonna call my d type parameter here, and I'm going to type np.int32. We're going to see this in the practical. I will show that with the real time code. I'm going to move to my Jupyter notebook. what I'm going to do is I'm going to create, I've already imported the numpy. I'm going to create a variable np dot d type, sorry, d type. I'm going to open my bracket, okay, np dot int 32. Okay, I'm going to print the n. Okay, we got the integer value. Okay, this is a simple format of checking our data types in NumPy. Okay. Next thing is np NumPy array creation routines. Okay. Maybe numpy.md is the syntax, shape, d type, float, order is equal to c. Okay, we will see the order in the upcoming classes. Okay, that's why I left that order in the previous. Okay, in this I'm creating a numpy. Okay, I'm going to import and I'm going to create an empty array. Okay, you will see this in a practical class, practical example. Okay, np array creations. Okay, numpy array creations. I'm going to call my numpy here. I've already chosen it. I've already imported it. Okay, I'm going to call a variable n is equal to np dot empty. This is a empty. It is a syntax here. Okay. Next thing is I'm going to pass a value to it, object to it. Okay, my object is going to be in the list format. It's going to be 5 to 9. Okay, and d type, in d type it's going to be in an integer. Okay, I'm going to print my n. Okay, we got our empty value here in the range of 0, 5 and 9. Okay, okay, I'm going to rerun this code one time. You can see the value has been changing. It is something like a random number we have seen in the Python. Okay, sorry, every time I run this code it used to change the code. Okay, it's created in the range of 5 to 9. Okay, it shows the random values as they are not initialized. Okay, and we want to see some zeros also. For example, we have seen the empty here, and also we have another keyword called 0. Zeros here, and how many zeros that I want to specify. Okay, for example, I have created a 5 here, and we don't need d type format because it's a 0. Yeah, we got a 5 sets of 0 in the format of a float. Okay, 5 sets of 0. Okay, this is a numpy zeros format, and next thing is ones format. Okay, we have seen the zeros format. Okay, next thing is a numpy ones format. Okay, okay, we have created ones for 5. Okay, we can check how many ones also. For example, I have given an input here as 100, and it shows we have 100 ones here. Okay. Okay, this is called in numpy array creations. Okay. Okay. Now, okay, this was some basics concept in NumPy. We have seen some basics concepts in NumPy. I think that's enough for basics class. Okay, next we want to see about matplotlib. Okay, okay, okay. Matplotlib is one of the it's a Python library used for creating a 2D and 2D bar and charts like that. Okay, it's used for creating a data visualization pack. Okay, Matplotlib is one of the most popular Python package used for data visualization. Data visualization is nothing but of getting the input from the data set and showing in the format of a graph like that. Just shows a growth like that. Okay, in the form of a graph. It shows the difference between the objects in the form of a graph, which is called visualized data. Okay, it is a graphs platform library for making a 2D plots for data in an array. Okay, in a data, getting a data from an array and creating some sort of plots. Using that plot, we can make plot in the graph. Okay, it is in the form of graph. Okay, it provides an object-oriented API that helps in embedding plots in application using Python GUI. Okay, it will come in a GUI format. The output will be in the format of GUI. Okay, we will show that. We will see that. Okay. To install the Matplotlib, it is similar to the pandas. We gonna similar to the NumPy also. We gonna install the pip also, or else we can install from the Anaconda Navigator also. Okay. Next, this is a simple syntax of creating a plot here. I will show that in a practical example. I am going to open my Jupyter notebook here. Okay, for creating a Matplotlib, the first thing I'm going to import my Matplotlib. Okay, this is some sort of different one. Okay, I'm going to import like from Matplotlib import pyplot as PLT. Okay, we have several set of Matplot libraries. Okay, this is a main library and we have subset like pyplot like that. Okay, I'm gonna import a specific part. Okay, to get a specific function from a library means I can use this type of importing method. Okay, like this. For NumPy, I can simply import NumPy as NP like that. But I'm going to import old NumPy here. But I'm going to in Matplotlib, I'm going to import a specific part only. That's why I'm using this type of import format. Okay. Next thing is I'm going to import another format called math. It's an inbuilt module. Okay, to make some mathematical calculation. Okay. Now I'm going to create two values here. First one will be xplot np dot arrange it's going to be from 0 to math dot from math. Okay, this math was imported here from math dot pi. It's going to be pi value star. I'm going to multiply it with 2. Okay, I'm going to multiply it with 2 and comma 0.05. That's it. Okay, this is my x coordinates value, and for my y coordinates, I'm going to import np dot sine. Okay, comma of x. Okay, sine of x. Okay. Now this is the syntax of creating the NumPy. Okay. Now I'm going to use my plot. PyPlot as I imported the PyPlot as plot. I'm going to use that plot dot plot. Okay, I'm going to plot x comma y. Sorry, plot x comma y. Okay. Next is I'm going to label my plots. Okay. Plot dot label. I think PLT plot dot label x-axis. Sorry. Angle. Another thing is this is called x label. Okay, x label and plot dot y label sine. Okay, That's it. And my plot title. Okay, what is the title of my chart? Title here. I'm going to specify title dot title. It's going to be sine wave. Okay, that's it. This is my code for creating my plot. Okay. Now I'm going to run this code, but it won't run here. It won't show any output here because okay, I think error also. I'm not accepting this. Sorry, I made a mistake. Double R. It's a single R. Okay, it's not going double R. Okay. Made a couple of typing mistake. That's it. Okay, label here. I'm going to run this and we got a form. Okay, now this is in the format of a console, but we have seen in our slide it is in the format of a GUI. Okay, to make it like that, I'm going to type plot dot show. Okay, I'm going to run this now. I think it doesn't make sense here. Okay, but here also it doesn't show in a GUI. Okay, in Anaconda we are using in the Anaconda. Okay, it is in the format of IPNYNB format, file format. So it will not show in a GUI. Okay, to make it in a graphical user interface, to make our chart to chart to show in a graphical user interface means I'm going to create a .py file. Okay, for that first I'm going to open my notepad here. Okay, I'm going to open my notepad. Okay, I open my notepad here. What I'm going to do is I'm going to copy the code that I've previously coded in the Jupyter notebook. I'm going to paste it here and I'm going to save the file as save numpy and .py. I'm going to change the save type as all files. Okay, and then I'm going to save this now. Okay, now I've been saved this here. Okay, now what I'm going to do is I'm going to open my Anaconda prompt. Okay, we have another thing called Anaconda Navigator and also Anaconda prompt. Okay. Okay, Anaconda prompt here. Okay, I think this is clear for you. Okay, what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to my documents here. This is where my saved .py file has been here. I'm going to call my Python and numpy. My file name is saved as numpy.py. Okay, I'm going to run this now. I think it's an error here. Okay, I'm sorry, I made a mistake here. It's num.py. Okay, I'm going to rerun it. Okay, yeah, this is called a GUI. Okay, this is how it could be. Okay, when we run our matplotlib in a .py file, it will prompt like this. It is called in GUI format. This is also we can show our output here. Okay. Okay, now I'm closing this thing here. Okay, I think this will be clear for you. And okay, this is some sort of basic plot here. Next thing is a matplotlib. Okay, we're going to use another thing called pylab here, and this is another code here. I will show it in a practical class. Okay, what I'm going to do is first I'm going to import from matplotlib import this star. Okay, this shows me I'm going to import all the packages from the matplotlib as a star. If I specify a star after the import, it shows import everything that a matplotlib has. Okay, this way also we can import the I'm sorry. It's not a matplotlib, pyplot, sorry, pylab. Okay, I'm going to import all the packages from pylab. Okay, I'm going to import all the packages from pylab using the star, and I'm also import numpy. Okay, next thing what I'm going to do is, okay, next thing is x is equal to line space. I'm going to specify value minus 3 comma 3 comma 30. Okay, this is my x coordinates, and for my y coordinates, sorry, and for my y coordinates, x asterisk 2, I'm going to multiply it, and I'm going to plot x comma y and show. Okay, that's it. Now I'm going to run this code. Yeah, line space is not defined. Thank you. Okay, the error is, it's not a line space, it's a linspace. Okay, I made an error here, and we got the plot here. Okay, this is some sort of plot, a general normal graph plot we used to do. Starting from minus 3 here, x-axis will be a 3 and y will be x star 2. It will be in the 9th position like that. It's gonna plot like this. Okay, it is in the format of line. Okay, what if in the same thing I can make another type also? For example, what I can do is, I'm gonna make here or dot like this. Now I'm going to run this, and the same line, it has been converted into a dot format. Okay, this is how also we can visualize our plots. Okay, I think this will be clear for you. And okay, this also we have been covered, and that's it. Okay, so this is also some sort of basic matplotlib tutorial, and this is a very basic concept. We just scratch the surface of matplotlib and numpy. We just see how it will be look like. That's it. Okay, and that's the end of this today's class, and thank you for your time, and see you in the next class. Okay, thank you.